Hello. Welcome back to Chatting with Doug. It has been 87 years, but we're back.
My hair's gotten even whiter. I got so old, I got shingles.
Yeah, Doug was sick last week, so that's why it was
Right.
canceled. I'm sorry. I know some people still didn't necessarily hear that was the case. But yeah, we had streams canceled last week because Doug got shingles. That's a true
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
That's
Weird.
not a bit.
I guess it's happening younger and younger. I'm talking more people that have had it either around my age or even younger. So yeah, weird. I was
Yeah.
like an over 50 thing, but what I know.
We're just glad that you're feeling better.
So am I.
Back. Yeah.
I shaved my head again. Oh my god. Oh, it's so nice.
Feel like a new man there, huh?
Yeah, or old man, old and new, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I see we are already in a level 4 hype train. People were ready with these questions, Doug. So thank you all so much. We'll get to the rules so that we can get to the questions even faster. First and foremost, we give priority to the bit messages since that is some real world money spent. Towards the end of stream, we sometimes have time for highlighted questions, but please save your highlighting for the end of stream because if you do it now, I cannot scroll up and see it. Also, highlighting does not guarantee that we are going to see or answer the question. Please don't repeat yourself over and over again in chat. You can get timed out or even banned if you're going to continuously do that. That kind of applies to the bit messages as well. We do have a list. There's no need to repeat it. It is very rare that we actually miss a bit message. I can already tell you, since we're in a level 5 hype train, we're going to be behind today. So expect your question to be about 45 minutes to an hour behind. That's just the way it's going to be. Please watch the length of your questions. The longer it is, the faster I have to read it, and the more likely we are to miss the question, and then we don't have time to repeat it. So short and to the point is better. That also includes parts to questions. Please, if you have to have multiple parts, limit it to like maybe maximum 3, because then again, we lose the point, same kind of a thing. It's kind of a long issue then. No spoilers, please. Not everyone has had a latest chance to see things like Mutant Mayhem or even Barbie, or Oppenheimer. No one knows how that ends.
How does that end?
No one knows. History couldn't tell you how Oppenheimer ends.
Actually, funny enough, the ending is the best part.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, no, it is a very good movie. For those that have not seen it, it's very, very good.
Yeah, for sure. So no spoilers, please. Oh, that also includes shows too. I haven't had a chance to watch the new season or the premiere of Only Murders in the Building, and I will be mad if you spoil Only Murders in the Building for me. Last one I think is, please maybe check to see if someone else has asked the question that you already asked. It's not like you're gonna get in trouble for that. It's just that we feel bad if you're like the 4th person to ask, what's the next NC? And you just have to get, oh, we already answered that, and when you've spent money on that. So maybe just check, because we just hate feeling like we've ripped you off or something, you know? All right.
Well, I don't feel that bad. But I feel bad enough.
Great. All right. Smash Ultra, thank you for the 100 bits. Since you reviewed Final Fantasy Spirit of Proof, I thought I'd check on other anime 3D movies, and I found one that my brother owned years ago called Appleseed. Do you want to review it?
Probably not, because I don't know the fan base. I don't have a passion for it. And Japan usually comes down pretty hard on copyright claims if we ever review anything like anime related. So I might just check it out on my own. But yeah, it probably won't be an NC review.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. Welcome back, Doug. Have you watched the first few episodes of Harley Quinn's 4th season? And if so, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I like it. It's still really, really funny. The thing that impresses me, I don't know if impress is the word, but maybe I like the most, is that they always had chemistry. The two of them always had chemistry, but I feel like really the most in this one, I really feel them as a couple. Like, just the little, like, quips they'll throw back and forth. They just, oh my God, we're so cute. We are so cute, and leave it. Like, I don't know. They have a really, really, it's probably the best I've seen their chemistry, I think, in any of the seasons.
LPB the Actor, thank you for the 47-month subscription.
Thank
Welcome
you.
back. Appreciate that. 3 away from reaching 50. Anyway, will we expect to see an NC review of the Pee-wee movies as a tribute to the life of Paul Rubens?
I was thinking about it. Maybe it's weird because I think there's a really only one good one. That's the first one, but the others have good moments in it. So yeah, might be an idea. Yeah, I'll write that down. It's not bad. I already had it on the list somewhere, but it's like I'll circle it.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. Hello, Heathis and Doug Head. How are you guys?
Good, thank you so much.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. Who are your top 3 favorite characters in the movie Clue?
Well, Tim Curry, obviously.
Obviously.
Madeline Kahn, I think I'm always gonna like her in anything. Trying to go through all the other characters in there. I guess Christopher Lloyd, just because I love Christopher Lloyd.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen TMNT Mutant Mayhem? And if so, thoughts, and will you do a review on it?
Well, first of all, I love the way you said Mutant Mayhem.
Sorry.
Nice. But no, not yet. I'm gonna try and get to it this weekend. I'm still catching up on a lot of work because I'm finally feeling healthy again. But I really do want to see it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm hearing nothing but great things about it. So yeah, I'm really excited for it.
Alex Loves Musicals, thank you for the 100 bits. Finally saw the Barbie movie and absolutely loved it. Also saw the new Haunted Mansion movie. It's better than the Eddie Murphy one. It's not technically good. It's just fun, turn off your brain and enjoy kind of movie. I still think Muppets Haunted Mansion is the best version we have.
Well, it did have a legit scare in it. I still can't believe Muppets had a section in anything that actually scared me.
DJ Lol5, thank you for the 100 bits. Welcome back, my man.
Thank you.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on Uncle Buck and the Great Outdoors, and which one do you prefer?
It's funny. Somebody just mentioned a good turn off your brain movie. I think Great Outdoors is good for that. Just sort of a fun turn your brain off movie. Uncle Buck, I don't know because it's funny. I found like one review that kind of summed up kind of an uneasiness I have with the movie. And that was Roger Ebert. He just said it was a very unpleasant movie and there's kind of a mean-spiritedness to it. And I usually like that, especially with John Hughes movies, but there's something about that film, I don't know, just the raw spite that like the daughter has for the uncle just feels like so mean and it's so uncomfortable. But then again, I don't know. That's also kind of part of that age too and everything. So I feel like I got to see it again. But some of the cliches I didn't like either, like the person walking in on whatever, somebody doing something and it's a misunderstanding. I hate those scenes. So I got to watch it again. I don't remember like disliking it, but I don't remember liking it either, if that makes sense.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on Pee-wee's Big Adventure?
Oh, I love it. Oh my God. That was, I watched that so many times when I was a kid. That's another one where when you watch it now, it's still just as good and for like totally different reasons. It's just so odd and strange. Yeah, I absolutely love it.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends?
I've never seen, I shouldn't say that. Like if you were to show it to me, I would recognize it as that, but I've never seen like a full episode or anything. So yeah, I never got a chance to sit through one. So I have no comment.
FBL, thank you for the, oh, I just read that. I'm sorry. Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on the movie Dragnet with Dan Aykroyd and Tom Hanks?
I thought it was cute for about 15 minutes and then I kind of got tired of it. That might be another one where maybe I have to watch it again. Like with the mindset that, obviously the show, it says it's based on a true story, but a lot of it's bunk. I feel like if I go with that mindset, maybe it'd be better, but I haven't seen it since like I was a kid. So yeah, maybe I should give it another shot.
Smash Ultra, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen the Mask cartoon where he teams up with Ace Ventura? It's like going on an adventure with yourself as your sidekick.
Good point. No, I think I tried like an episode of each of them, and I'm just like, I can't do this. I'm a huge Jim Carrey fan. I was a huge fan as a kid, but when I saw those cartoons, I'm like, this ain't for me. I think I'm the wrong age for this.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Favorite episode of the new season of Always Sunny?
I think it's got to be that last one that aired. That was so brilliant with that ending. Next to that, I'll probably say the Chuck E. Cheese one. That was also really great.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on the film Trading Places?
Terrible confession. I've never seen the whole movie, and I should because everybody says it's fantastic. So I really should get on that.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. Who are your top 3 favorite comedic actors?
Man, so not comedians, like comedic actors.
Yeah.
Bill Murray would probably be up there. Was Madeline Kahn a comedian? I can't remember. I mean, but I do really like her. Oh, no. Jane Curtin. Oh my God, anything she's in is gold. Man, under that, Bill Burr. I like seeing him in a lot of stuff. He's got a good range.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Favorite Johnny Depp movie?
Gotta be Ed Wood. Yeah, that's one of those where when I think of like my top favorite movies and stuff, I usually have like Batman over Ed Wood as my favorite Burton film, and it's like, yeah, now I don't know. Ed Wood might be edging it out because it does just get so much better and so much more poignant as I get older.
Wiccan, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey guys, glad you feel better, Doug. What is your favorite scene in Barbie, without spoilers? For me, it's easily the same as most people, that being the whole "I'm just Ken" sequence. It's just so perfect. Can't wait for Ryan Gosling to be nominated for supporting actor at the Oscars like he's predicted to.
That's so funny. That's where I just check out of the movie. But so many people say that it's like their favorite. I will say this. I do hum in my head, I am Ken and so am I. Just that one part. I don't know why. That part's in my head. No, I love the scene where she sits on the bench and just sort of lets the world like sink in with her, sort of all the sadness, all the ugliness, all the beauty, all the happy. And then she sees that old lady next to her. And again, if you haven't seen it, I won't mention what she says, but I love the exchange they have. I love that scene. I thought that was such a nice scene.
Fifth guy, thank you for the 100 bits. Oh shoot, I forgot about this. I didn't even have any questions planned. Fuck.
Well, good answer then.
Connor Davenport, thank you for the 100 bits. If you were approached to appear in epic rap battles of history, would you be open to that? And if so, as whom?
As the nerd, clearly. No, it'd be like Bubble Bass versus SpongeBob or something like that. That'd be funny. Maybe I play Bubble Bass. Yeah, sure.
I just read that, sorry. FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. NC for the Thor movies.
I did Disney Cembers on them. I think that's good because I like them enough. Actually, the more I think about it, I feel like there's only one really great one with Ragnarok. All the others kind of have issues with them. But, yeah, I don't know. I like them. I'm not, passionate about them, though, so it's probably not for me.
DJ Lol5, thank you for the 100 bits. What do you think of both Pearl and X?
It's on the list of movies. I've seen a lot of movies since I got shingles. That was the one upside. I could watch a lot of stuff, but I still haven't seen them. I gotta check them out. Everyone says they're great.
Spooky Elephant, thank you for the 100 bits. Don't mind me. I'm just stopping by to spend my hard-earned money to hear Heather say one word. Loose. I wrote it down. I wrote it down.
Well done.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Damn, that was a low blow to take a shot at the effects of Indiana Jones 5 in your review last week. That movie doesn't get enough hate. May I remind you of the CGI gopher and monkeys in Crystal Skull?
I mean, is that getting much praise too? Gophers and CGI monkeys? Dial of Destiny is more recent, so that's why I threw that in there.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 30-month subscription. Welcome back. Appreciate that. Hello, everyone. Woohoo! 30 months with these awesome people. Really glad to be here. I hope Doug and Heather and the rest of the CA cast and crew are doing excellent.
Well, thank you so much. Back at you, man.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Favorite/least favorite Christopher Nolan movie?
I mean, all right, Dark Knight's my favorite, but Oppenheimer's probably his best. Least favorite. Let me go through the list here. Maybe I'm not saying this is his worst. I'm just saying it was the one where I kind of rolled my eyes. But probably Interstellar, because I feel like there's maybe 2 or 3 good ideas in there, and then just 3 hours of filler. I mean.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen the most recent episode of Hell of a Boss? And if so, thoughts?
Not the recent one. I just caught up on the whatever the season 1 missing episode, so I caught up on that, but I haven't seen the recent one yet. No.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the Saw 10 trailer?
I didn't even see it. I'm not the guy to ask about those. I never got into the Saw movies. I'll say this, watching Brad Jones's review of the first one, there's a lot of stuff I did not know about that first movie that makes it a lot more impressive. I did not know the budget it had. I didn't know like just how like the time restraints they had. So for what they made, that's a very impressive movie. But they never grabbed me for some reason. Like I get why they do, and there's a lot to admire about them, but yeah, they never pulled me in.
Honest reviewer, thank you for that 15-month subscription. Welcome back. Appreciate it. Doug, I thought you were dead. How are you enjoying Spider-Man?
Good. I did take a little bit of a break because I still have a bunch of Disney Decembers to record, and I wanted to wait until I finished that show before I want to record these other ones and then finish that show, so I have my thoughts on those done and out of the way so that I can finish up Spider-Man. So I got something like 4 or 5 episodes left. I'm pretty close.
Tiff Guy, thank you for the 100 bits. I hate coming up with these on the fly. What have you guys done all week?
Have shingles.
Have shingles. I've just been doing a lot of work. Work. Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. What has been your favorite episode of Harley Quinn season 4 so far?
Oh, we were just talking about this. The Moon Con episode. I thought that was really, really funny.
Very funny. FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Did you watch the John Hughes documentary from the Hats Off Entertainment YouTube channel?
Boy, I've seen a lot of his stuff, so I'd be shocked if I didn't. Maybe I didn't because I saw one. I saw a couple. So my thought was, well, if I've seen so many, I don't need to see another one. But maybe that was one of them I saw. I can't remember. I've seen about like 3 or 4 of them, and maybe that was one of them in the mix. But I have seen most of that guy's stuff. He does really good stuff.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Overall, who is your favorite character besides Clayface in the Harley Quinn show?
Going through all the characters. Oh, Bane! Come on, I will bend it!
Joe Kazobi, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey guys, love the new episode tonight. I've been a huge fan of Beavis and Butthead since I was 4. Have you seen the revival series on Paramount Plus, and what are your thoughts?
Just bits and pieces, and what I've seen have been very, very funny. That's like one of the few things that makes me want to go, shit, like maybe I should get Paramount Plus just to watch those.
Tiff Guy, thank you for the 100 bits. What's your horror scope? I don't know if they mean horoscope or because it's 2 words. They have horror scope.
Maybe that's like a new way to watch a movie, a horror movie. Horoscope. I mean, like that where you say you're Scorpio, or is that
like I'm a Virgo?
Yeah. So I'm a Scorpio.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. NC for the Eddie Murphy movie 1,000 Words.
I've gotten people requesting that before. I've never seen it. I did hear it's really bad. So I'll try to at least check it out at some point.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. Did you see the recent horror movie Talk to Me? I thought it was way scarier than anything in Haunted Mansion.
No, I hear it's good though. And that my guess would be I'll probably see that before Ninja Turtles because my wife loves horror films, and it's always hard to find like new good ones. So, and everyone's saying that one's really good. So I'll probably see it soon.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen the most recent episode of Futurama? And if so, thoughts?
No, I saw the last 2, I think, but I haven't seen the recent one. I gotta catch up on that.
Bernsey, thank you for the 100 bits. Hi, Doug. I heard that Spielberg is taking Stanley Kubrick's unmade script to make a 7-part HBO Napoleon series. I wonder if there will be one for every coalition. Thoughts?
Maybe. I mean, you know my thoughts on AI, but yeah. Well, God, doesn't that sound weird now? Like AI, like can mean so many things now. The movie AI, but I don't that. Joaquin Phoenix movie looks really good. I mean, that got my attention. So I don't know if he's got to go up against that. It'll be interesting to see how that goes. But I don't know if he puts a lot of effort into it. I'd love to see something like that old John Adams miniseries they did years ago. If they did it like that, I think that'd be pretty cool.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Does a movie have to mean something to be good? Is there value in a movie just being an experience without a defined meaning?
Oh, sure. Absolutely. I like one of my well, and what's so funny is that I feel like you stumble into meaning in many ways more naturally if you don't even try to necessarily attempt to have one because you want something entertaining, and the most entertaining stuff is something you can relate to or connect to or recognize from something in your life. So, if anything, even though I really like movies that are very symbolic and have these great messages and stuff like that, because there's so many like that right now, I find myself actually enjoying ones that are kind of just trying to tell a good story with good characters, and then they almost stumble into this really poignant message while doing that almost by accident.
That Disney nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. So I purchased The Godfather on Blu-ray, and I gotta ask, is it a tough movie to get through, given how slow I've heard it is, also the nearly 3-hour runtime?
It depends. I've heard it's funny because I've always just heard it's a masterpiece. I mean, everybody loves it and stuff. And I saw it, and I mean, in a good way, it was what I thought it was going to be. I always say, we had VHS back in the day, so I always saw those two tapes all the time, and it looked very adult. And I'm like, okay, well, it's probably going to be a lot of talking in this movie, a lot of development. It's going to be some violence every once in a while, like really harsh violence. And it was exactly that, but it was, there's a lot of layers to it. It's very well done, but I find people are either Goodfellas people or Godfather people, and they're very different movies. Goodfellas just takes off like a race car and just holds your attention the whole time, where Godfather is very slow, takes his time, lets the characters and the themes and everything kind of sink in, and really, really takes his time. So, yeah, and some people like both. I really like both. If you were to ask me which one do I quote more, I'd probably say Goodfellas, but which one's probably the better movie? I'd say Godfather. But yeah, it's not for everyone. It's definitely, it's kind of like 2001, where if somebody doesn't like it, nobody's like, what? How? It's like, no, it's very understandable why that would be.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Is there any chance you'll do a Disney December for Haunted Mansion? It's actually pretty good and a lot better than people are saying.
Yeah, I'll check it out. I'll do one for Elemental as well. A lot of the movies that nobody saw from Disney this year, it's like, I'll do a Disney December on them.
Tiff Guy, thank you for the 100 bits. What new shows have you been watching that your fans haven't strong-armed you to watch?
Well, one that somebody, I don't know if they strong-armed me, but they did bring it up, we really do love it, is Reservation Dogs. We just started watching that, and I really, really like it a great deal. Yeah, I'm trying to think of any other shows that, I mean, Harley Quinn, obviously watching that. Started The Witcher.
Ooh.
Kind of because Rob was telling me about that show. And I did ask, because I was asking Heather, because I thought you watched it too, and you're just like, I have never seen that show.
I haven't.
But I was like, I like it. Does it get better? Does it pick up? And Rob's like, yeah, it does. The first season's a little rocky, but it gets better. I'm like, okay. So yeah, but I am enjoying it.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the Borat movies?
I didn't see the second one. I loved the first one when it came out, watching it with an audience, and then I went back to see it again. I took Rob and my dad to go see it, and it's not the same without an audience. It is one of those movies where the laughter of everyone howling and, oh my God, I can't believe we're seeing something so like inappropriate on the big screen, Rob. But then like when it's just us, there's a lot of long pauses. There's a lot of catchphrases, obviously waiting for the audience to laugh, and when it's not there, it's just dead air. So I still liked it, but it's not quite the masterpiece I thought it was originally.
Doug, you're kind of blurry. You might need to fix it.
Was that what you're reacting to with the awe? Just like, I'll go blurry. Oh.
No. Music Decomposer, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen the direct-to-DVD Garfield movies? Garfield Gets Real, Garfield's Fun Fest, and Garfield's Pet Force. And if so, what are your thoughts on them?
I think I saw a little bit because somebody was telling me the Get Real one where like he kind of goes into the real world or whatever. I thought that was kind of a cute idea. I don't think I got all the way through it though. I haven't seen the other ones here. Something about when he goes to CG, it just looks so ugly to me. And the drawing style is very clearly for hand drawn. I just can't get into that 3D world with him. It looks so odd.
Max Man, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey, Doug, hope you're doing well and are recovering from shingles because I caught them when I was 8, and trust me, it was a pain in my butt. Can't wait for the new NC.
Was it literally in your butt? I mean,
oh
I
God,
got mine in the back of my head. Yeah. No, it would. I don't think I had as bad as other people, but there were some nights that were really, really rough. And it was kind of like in some way or another kind of a constant pain. But sometimes it was just a soreness, but like a soreness where it felt like somebody was just poking like my nerves out of
Mm.
nowhere. So I just would be sitting or watching, so I'd just be like, ow. Like it'd be like that, but then like there was like 2 nights in a row where it just felt like the worst sunburn I ever had is somebody just slapping like at the side of my head and my neck, and it was not fun.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on Bruno?
Oh, I remember not liking that movie. Yeah, that was a tough follow up to Borat.
Trill Bill, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey Doug, have you seen the movie Mio in the Land of Far Away? It's based on a novel by famous Swedish author Astrid Lindgren and stars a young Christian Bale as the main character and Christopher Lee as the villain. I'd see a Nostalgia Critic review of it at some point, as it has some interesting things in it, to say the least.
How do you say the first name?
Mio, M-I-O, in the Land of Far Away.
Oh, Mio. Land of, let's see, 1987 film. No, I've never heard of this. Oh, weird. Okay. Oh, this looks like right up my alley. Yeah, all right. I'll check it out. I've never even heard of this. Okay.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts /NC for Free Guy?
I did Disney December on it. I feel like that was enough. I liked it okay. I didn't love it. So I don't really have like that much of a passion to talk about it. But yeah, if you watch it the Disney December, that's my thoughts.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. NC for RIPD.
I got to get on that because people have been asking me for it. I never saw it. I heard it's not good. But yeah, I got to check that out.
I know what, guys. Thank you for the 150 bits. Doug, I have a YouTuber I would like to recommend to you. His name is Alan Becker. His video, Animation versus Math, is really creative.
Animation versus Math. That's interesting. Is that the name of the channel or the name of the
video?
Okay.
The name of the person is Alan. Wow, that was so Chicago. Alan Becker.
Alan. Oh, man. Doesn't need my help. He already has like a ton of views. Cool. I will try to check that out.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, what psychological issues do you think Truman would have had after escaping the show he was raised into? How are people okay with a human being essentially being in captivity, especially without their knowledge?
Well, I mean, I think that's where the satire element it comes in. I don't think people would, but I don't know. Heather, you're talking about that jury duty.
I like jury duty, but I mean, there's an end to it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like that guy has been...
And he signed something clearly. I mean, like saying, "Hey, whatever you want to do on the show, that's fine." Thinking everybody signed that or whatever.
Right.
But what issues we have? I don't know. Apparently, a psychological disorder has been made from the movie. Where there are people that think they're constantly being watched and they're on a TV show and stuff like that. So I guess he would form that.
I know, guys. Thank you for the 100 bits. I have an idea for another crossover review sometime in the future. The Peanuts movie with Tunerific Tyreek.
Oh, he does really good stuff. His style is so, I don't want to say like so different, from mine, because we both show clips and talk over and stuff like that. But I don't know. It is a different take. It is a different style that I feel like I would interrupt it. You know what I mean? Because the way he does it, there's always a sense of like it's half written, but he's also just kind of giving his genuine thoughts too. And I feel like if I get in there, that would interrupt it. But his stuff's very, very good. And I am doing a Disney December on it this year as well, because I did revisit that movie. So yeah, but anyone hasn't checked out his stuff, it's really, really good. He did a real good one about Carl from The Simpsons in this latest episode that came out. That was really, really interesting.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the movie The Terminal?
I never saw it. I heard it was just and I have a problem anytime Tom Hanks does an accent. I can't take it seriously. The only one I can is maybe Forrest Gump, just because I saw it as a kid. It's already kind of a weird world they create. I think that's the only way I can take it seriously. That or like Elvis, where it's like, no, this world's already weird. This is where a voice this strange would match. You know what I mean?
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on the Batman and Alfred scene in the Harley Quinn show?
The Batman and Alfred scene. I'm trying to remember. I remember he goes to visit him in jail, and there's like another butler, I think, something like that. I'd have to go back. Yeah, I don't remember it, even though I'm supposed to, so you don't have to, but I fail.
I know, guys. Thank you for the 100 bits. Do you think you'll review the 2004 Fat Albert? I saw it, and while, yeah, that guy is in it, I still thought it was enjoyable enough.
Yeah, I got on the list. Seeing how, I mean, in a year it's going to be 20 years old. I guess that makes that's the perfect time to do it. So maybe next year.
Tiff Guy, thank you for the 100 bits. Hello, Heather, the big, the beautiful, and the bold.
Aw.
Striking.
Oh, and the bald, if you're talking about me.
Job Kazobi, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey, Doug, I reached out to Mighty Con in St. Louis through email, and the guy told me that he met you one year at C2E2 and gave you his business card. What should I do next?
um, I don't know. Ask him to reach. Yeah, I don't think I still have it. So yeah, maybe have him send it again. Sorry.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Favorite Julie Taymor movie?
Probably. I'll still say Titus. Titus was so experimental, and I really like that style of like seeing a stage show where it doesn't really take place in a particular time period. It's kind of just whatever works for the material, you know, so you can have like carriages, but you can also have like machine guns and stuff like that. I think that's just such a cool style, and I never saw it in a movie before. So that's the first one I can think of where somebody actually did that, because it's such a cool style, and it's a shame you don't see it more in films, because I think just visually alone, it's so breathtaking.
Alex the Animator, thank you for the 100 bits. In honor of Paul Rubens' death last week, are you thinking about doing an NC review of one of the Pee-wee movies, like Pee-wee's Big Adventure or Big Top Pee-wee?
I was thinking about doing, as somebody even brought up before, doing all the movies. I already had it on the list, but again, with the shingles and stuff like that, it kind of get in the way of some stuff. So the next few reviews, by the way, I'm not on camera. It is only audio, but yeah, I do still get some reviews out. But yeah, you're not going to see me, sadly.
JPith, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, I rewatched Moulin Rouge this week. You know as well as I that it still might be the undefeated champion of it's either your thing or it isn't. Personally, it was always my thing.
That's cool. You know, case in point, when I saw Les Berman's Elvis, I totally got into that, and I loved the idea of it because, like I said, I thought it was kind of being told like an Elvis movie, like a modern Elvis movie. So that's more my thing. It's not that I can't get into that style. It's just I need a little bit more of a connection to the material, a little bit more substance to it and stuff like that. I mean, it's really just the story and the writing in Moulin Rouge I don't like. I love the style. So yeah, I was glad to see something like Elvis where I'm just like, ooh, like this works better for me. So yeah, I think everyone's going to have, you know, movies like that.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts/Nostalgiaween for Smile or Talk to Me. Also, Nostalgiaween idea, old versus new for the Haunted Mansion movies.
Well, I have to see the new one first. For Smile, I liked okay. I have an issue with the ending, though. And that's one where they have the commentary going, but then they're like, but we got to just have a scary downer ending. I'm like, but that goes against the point of the movie, doesn't it? That's one of the few times where I'm like, the downer ending, I think, really kind of like stabs the message in the back. I don't know if it was going for that, but I still haven't seen Talk to Me, and I don't know if I'll do an NC on them, but I do definitely want to see that one. And I did like Smile for the most part.
I know, guys. Thank you for the 100 bits. You know when you'll be able to check out Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem? It's just made its budget back today.
Oh, nice. I will try to go this weekend. If not this weekend, it'll probably be the next one. Like I said, it's just me trying to catch up on work because of the sickness.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the David Fincher Zodiac movie and on David Fincher in general?
I never did see Zodiac. I heard it's pretty good. Yeah, well, God, what is the last movie of his I've seen? I can't remember the last one he's done. But I like him. I love Fight Club. That's I always call it timelessly dated in that it's such a product of the time, but there's always elements to it that last, and the elements kind of change over time too. It's yeah, it's another one of those movies I'm like, I gotta review that movie because I feel like there's so much you can say about it.
Tiff Guy, thank you for the 100 bits. Heather, what have you been playing recently that hasn't been streamed? A lot of times if I actually get a chance to play video games off stream, it's just Tetris 99 or Fortnite. Or I've also been working on 100%ing Hi-Fi Rush because I had such a great time with that game. DJ Lol5, thank you for the 100 bits. What do you think of the reports that Gal Gadot could be returning as Wonder Woman in James Gunn's DCU? I would prefer if they recast her with May Columway as the character. Nothing against Gal, as I love her as Diana, but I feel if DC wants to have a full reset, they have to go all in on it.
I would agree with that if they don't bring back Henry Cavill. I'd be like, wait a minute, you bring back Gal Gadot, but not. Yeah, that would be the only reason I would be mad at that because she's a great Wonder Woman. But yeah, but Cavill's a great Superman too. So yeah, and the guy that got to replace him looks just like him. So yeah, that'd be my issue.
Dev the Wiser, thank you for the 100 bits. Why do you love the book Animal Farm?
I don't know. I think the idea of such a simple story, but can connect to so much of what happened, in real life and can happen and does still happen, I guess, in many respects. I think the last line in the book is just such a haunting line, and I feel is so relevant in so many things. Yeah, I don't know. And it's funny because I was introduced to it through like this old TNT movie that was made that wasn't good, but it wasn't awful. But I was just fascinated by it. I'm like, what the hell? I never even heard of the book. And then when I heard it was the guy who wrote 1984, I'm like, what? It like talking pigs and stuff? What? It's like a heavy, like, strong story. It's like symbolic. What? And it just, I don't know. It just instantly grabbed me and fascinated me. Yeah, I really love that story.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. Top 3 Eddie Murphy movies.
Man, I have to go through. Trying to think of ones that like all the movies I'm thinking of, like, that's good, but that wouldn't be bad. Coming to America, I love that movie. I guess Beverly Hills Cop is one. I haven't seen it like in one sit down, but like I've seen it in chunks. So I feel like I've seen the whole movies. Or is that? Man, what's the other? Nutty Professor. I'll say that, sure.
Tiff Guy, thank you for the 100 bits. Where's Robbenheimer?
He is not here today. He'll probably be back next week. I think he's doing like every other Q&A, I think.
JPith, thank you for the 100 bits. Quick pick for your most overrated movie. Old, new, whatever.
I mean, there's a couple. I saw mention Moulin Rouge. I think that's kind of in there. I do think the Avatar movies are overrated, but I get why people like them, and I feel like even people know why they like them. You know what I mean? Like, oh, it's just for the experience. We don't care about the story and everything. Man, I'm sure there's others. A popular opinion, Guardians 3. I was just watching clips of it again, and I'm just like, I don't like this. I'm sorry. Even just clips of it just gets on my nerves. But I love the rocket stuff. The rocket stuff's great.
Dev the Wiser, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on the Godfather trilogy?
Oh, I like it. I mean, three's not that hot, but 1 and 2 I think are fantastic.
Alex the Animator, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, great review of The Truman Show last week. I even agree with parts of what you think would have made the movie better, like exploring the lives of the actors outside the show and all that.
Yeah, it's rough because I totally see what it was trying to do, and it did it. It did it so well. I just wanted a little bit more risk to it, even though there were risks taken considering that time period and who's casting it and everything. But I wanted more. I wanted, like, I don't know. I feel like it could be pushed just a little bit further.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 100 bits. Heather, have you ever got in trouble with a parent after you shushed their obnoxious kid in the theater? No, because the only times I've ever shushed obnoxious kids, they've like just been kids in a group of 3 or 4. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah, I was trying to think. Usually the parents would be like, shit. Usually they would do it.
Dev the Wiser, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen Baby Driver? And if so, what are your thoughts?
Oh yeah. Oh, that movie's cool, man. Yeah. Again, just the staging of that film and working in like like the lyrics everywhere and timing it to the music and stuff. Yeah. No, sound design in that movie's amazing.
JPith, thank you for the 100 bits. What's a movie you love but isn't all that popular, so you're constantly recommending it to people you know?
Shit. I'm trying to think. There's one I just saw. Oh man. I gotta look up. Was it Hatchling? Is that it? Hatchling movie. There's a really good horror film that I just Hatching is the name of this movie, and I think it's like. Is it Swedish? Finnish. No, it's from Finland, so it is subtitles and stuff. But don't let that get in the way because there's not a ton of talking it, and there is a lot of visual storytelling. And I just thought it was brilliant. I thought it was an unbelievable horror film that had like again very natural commentary to it. I thought, yeah, very good film if you haven't seen it.
That Disney nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. So I'm one of the 10 people left in the world that still hasn't seen Oppenheimer. I think I'm gonna wait till it comes out on Blu-ray. 3 hours in the theater sounds very difficult for someone like me.
I mean that's fair. For me, I didn't start to feel it until like the last third, because again, they do kind of make it look like the movie's gonna wrap up, and there's like 40 more minutes, something like that. It is very good. It is a film I think would benefit from an intermission. I do admit.
JPit, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on American Graffiti?
You know, that's another one. I've never seen it in one go. I've seen it in bits and pieces, so I feel like I've seen it, all together, but I haven't seen it in order, if that makes sense. What I saw, I really liked.
DJ Lol5, thank you for the 100 bits. I'm going to fake spoil Only Murders in the Building and make up my own plot based on what we got on the trailers. Mwahaha!
Diabolical. Only spoilers in the building.
Alex the Animator, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, do you have any opinions on the currently ongoing writers and actors strike and have any idea when they might end?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not someone that's like, I critique this stuff. I'm not in that world that much. I mean, I know people that are, certainly. I mean, it's something where it's like, I just hope whatever the right solution is, if they get it. I mean, we do rely on these people for, for writing and acting and a lot of hard work and everything. So, yeah, AI ain't gonna cut it, man. That's some people are trying to say that's the future. I'm like, there's some neat stuff there, but that, if anything, I feel like when you see some movies bomb and not do well, and it's almost like they're written by AI, you know what I mean? Kind of by the numbers. That shows you need that spark of like originality and uniqueness to come in there. That's something only a human being can do. So, and they deserve to be well compensated for it.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. What do you think of Talia al Ghul in the Harley Quinn show so far? I love her. As someone who like enjoys Talia in like the comics, like I shouldn't say enjoys, like she's an interesting character to me in the comics. As soon as she made her debut, I was like, yes, yes.
Yeah, she's pretty fun. One, I like her because she's a character where you're always like, okay, is she? I mean, they're all bad guys, sure, but is she on their side or is she plotting something? Like, I think she's plotting something, but that just makes it all the more fun. So yeah, no, so far I think she's pretty cool.
If they don't make a joke about how Damian was conceived, if it's the same as the comics, it's a missed opportunity.
or the more I think about like a Bane joke, if you tie it into like Dark Knight Rises and stuff like that, there's a couple things you can do with it, honestly.
Pet Projects, thank you for the 100 bits. Top 11 idea, deleted scenes that should have remained in the film. One example I can think of is in Phantom Menace when Anakin beats up a kid who accuses him of cheating is the only scene where Anakin foreshadows his dark side.
I thought about that. I thought about doing like maybe a video series that shows like what scenes should have stayed in and what, like in extended cuts, like are they worth keeping in, are they not, and stuff like that. I did, what was it, like top 11 alternate what the fuck endings, I think, and it was kind of like some pro, some con, and stuff like that. So yeah, maybe there's something there. Yeah, maybe there's some.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, I would love for you to tackle this recent trend with certain projects in an editorial. Projects that have recognizable IPs but over-rely on A-list actors and or gimmicks to get viewers. Like Superman show, Velma, and Mario movie. It shows a lack of trust in the material that they have. Castlevania series never had tricked us into watching it.
I mean, that's true, but now with that said, as Castlevania is doing very well, but has it, does it have the following, the, record breaking that something like Super Mario Brothers does? And even with that said, do I think Super Mario Brothers, well, that's all Chris Pratt and the big names? No, but I don't think it hurt it either. If anything, I think just the trend of seeing so many of these bigger movies relying on stars and IP not do well this year, I think is kind of a sign of that. The ones that are doing well, yes, technically rely on IP and stuff like that, but who's going to see Oppenheimer, because of, Cillian Murphy? Oh my God, that A-list star. It's like, I mean, yes, you're going to see a good performance. You're not going for him, if that makes sense. And you're not going to see the Barbie movie because it's just Barbie is what they're doing with Barbie. You know, I think that's the same thing with like Indiana Jones, when it didn't sound like they were going to do anything that interesting with him, and they didn't. You know, and kind of the same thing with like Elemental and all these other things. It's like, well, it's stuff we've seen. They're not doing anything interesting with them. So that's why I think something like Barbenheimer does so well, because it isn't just the IP, it isn't just the actors, it's what they're doing with them that gets people saying, oh, like this is different.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, have you caught up on Only Murders in the Building? The third season is currently being released, and it's really good so far. Such an amazing cast. Highly recommend it.
I haven't even seen the second season, man. I'm sorry. Every time we start it, it's not bad, but we're always like, yeah, let's go watch Reservation Dogs or something like that. We always kind of want to watch another show. So, yeah, I got nothing against it. Just somewhere it didn't, it feels like a one season show to me. I'm not going to lie. But a lot of people say it's still pretty good. So I should give it a shot.
Mitchell, thank you for the 100 bits. Hi, Doug. You've said Time Enough at Last is your favorite episode of The Twilight Zone. Do you have a least favorite episode?
Yes. Oh my God. So we were going through, my wife and I actually got the whole collection of Twilight Zones for her his birthday or Christmas, I can't remember, but in fact, I think everybody kind of chipped in too, because it's this big thing, and you know, it's kind of like this big present. Her, she loved Twilight Zones, so we went through every single one. Every night we put on an episode, have a little wine with it, a little popcorn and everything. We loved it. We finally got to the last one, like over a year watching these, and it's like, oh, here it is, man. It feels like we're really ending something here. We did our little toast with the wine glasses. Let's put it on, and it was the worst episode we ever saw. Like, it was laughably bad. It was embarrassingly bad. Like, I guess they lost the audio to it, so everyone had to be redubbed. And not only that, the kids were redubbed by June Foray, the voice of like Rocky Squirrel and Witch Hazel and stuff. And it just sounds like an actress doing these kid voices. It was terrible. So it is pretty funny. The last one is just easily the worst.
JPith, thank you for the 100 bits. What about a top 11 horror films? If not as the NC, maybe just as yourself.
Horror films is tough because that's like saying top 11 like comedies or something like that. It's just such a broad thing. I have thought about top 11 like alternate slasher films, or like slashers that have something really different about, like they don't follow the norm, like Freddy Krueger or Jason or something like that. Because I'm not a big slasher film guy, but I like when they do something different, like Terrifier, or I even kind of argue that Sweeney Todd is kind of a slasher film, you know. So I like when something is tweaked with it. So maybe I'll do a list like that someday.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on the third and final Pee Wee Herman movie, Pee Wee's Big Holiday?
I don't remember liking it that much. Like, I didn't hate it, but I remember like it started off good and then just got really boring. Maybe when I look at the movies again for like talking about all the films and stuff like that, my opinion will change. But yeah, I don't remember hating it, but I don't remember liking it.
Tiff Guy, thank you for the 100 bits. Haven't seen today's review yet, but I'll go watch it after this stream. Winky face.
Thank you.
That's Disney Nerd. Thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen the new horror film Talk to Me? I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard a lot of good things about it.
Same. I haven't seen it yet, but I hear a lot of good things about it.
LLT, thank you for the 100 bits. Hi, Doug. Glad you're feeling better. Next off on the music biopic chopping block is the king of pop himself, Michael Jackson. What are your thoughts on a biopic on this particular musician? Here's the link for more info, but there's no links in chat. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I mean, I can look it up. Man, I don't know. I'm not saying you couldn't. God, how would you do it? I don't know how you would do it, which is not to say don't do it or that you can't do it, but I don't know what angle you would take with that in like so many different respects. Like, what's the tone you would take? What's the side you would take? I don't know. You know what? I do remember seeing a really good, years ago, a miniseries on the Jackson 5. It was really well done. And that was pretty good. And that only sort of tapped a little bit into like what Michael became when he became the big pop star and stuff like that. So yeah, even that's like a giant. Maybe that I could see a mini series that I could maybe see working. Because yeah, I don't think you could sum it all up in a movie.
I know, guys. Thank you for the 100 bits. What do you think about the film What About Bob? If you haven't seen it, I feel like it's right up your alley.
Yeah, I grew up with that movie. You know, it changes. Sometimes I love that movie. Sometimes I'm like, I can't stand this film. And it's not Bill Murray. It's Richard Dreyfuss. Every time I watch him, I'm like, Man, yeah, that's like the perfect amount of neurotic you need. And then other times I'm like, he is so over the top that it just doesn't feel believable. So it changes. It's one of those strange movies where I go back and forth on it.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 100 bits. There's a couple of coworkers of mine who are in their 20s that said they never seen The Godfather. I was stunned because it's one of those classic films that has to be seen. Have you guys ever gotten that feeling when someone has never seen a particular movie?
Yeah, Tamara with everything.
I
So
mean,
good.
I never do, but that's because I'm like Tamara. We just didn't watch movies. I just haven't seen a ton of movies. I don't know. Just people like to do different things sometimes, and sometimes parents are even weird. Like I've met people who have never even seen something like The Lion King or Beauty and the Beast because their parents were like, "Well, I wasn't going to sit and watch it, so why would I put it on for my kid?" You
Yeah,
know,
no,
like
there's everyone has at the very least a handful of movies that most people have seen, but were somehow kept out.
yeah. Japeth, thank you for the 100 bits. Looking back, I think Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is a similar Spielberg sequel as The Lost World, in the sense that whatever flaws it may have, I can't help but appreciate when it compared to what we've gotten since in both franchises.
Maybe it's rough, because Crystal Skull and Dial of Destiny are like bad for different reasons. I mean, Crystal Skull's not good, but it's hard to say it's boring. Like the majority of it's boring. It has boring parts. But at the same time, Dial of Destiny seems like more competent at times. So yeah, I don't know. It's another kind of pick your poison.
Tiff Guy, thank you for the 100 bits. Can you recall one of the dumbest controversies that you hated?
Uh,
I feel like there's gotta be something.
Man, I'm trying to think of like ones that like. I mean, like it's weird because I feel like we've had so many over the years, especially if people get more either super left or super right, and they try to turn us against each other and stuff. I don't, I don't know.
This is
Maybe
a hyper. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say like maybe I just remember back in the day when the Harry Potter books were coming out, like witchcraft, the devil, blah blah blah. Like that's the one where I feel like that's just kind of like the silliest one, like the most laughable one, because years later it's still like a huge thing, Harry Potter. The big complaints about like rap music and stuff. I remember that be whenever I think of it, I think of like when I was a kid and saying, all right, years from now, this is not going to be controversial, and we're right.
Rancy Gaming, thank you for the 100 bits. Hi, Doug. I have another Disney show for you to review in a future Disney-cember. It's called Billy Dilly's Super Subterranean Summer. It's 1 season and 13 episodes.
Weird. Okay, I'll try to check it out.
Lady Houndoom, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, glad you're feeling better. My friend and I have been playing with the idea of who would be cast of a modern Princess Bride remake. We have most of the characters, but are going back and forth on Prince Humperdinck. We have Ed Helms right now, but who would you cast? Also, do you think Malcolm would be a good Wesley?
Like our Malcolm?
Yeah.
Sure. If you can play anything, man. Yeah, you can do it. Although can you do a British accent? I don't know. Let me see. That's a good question. It's one of those where it's like I feel like it's another one of those. There's so many actors, and I'm just blanking on who it could be. Yeah, Humperdinck. Yeah, I don't know. I'm weirdly blanking. I'm trying to think of like kind of the snidely, people. Dennis from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I don't know why he's coming to mind when I think of that character.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, for this Nostalgiaween, will you review the movie Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies? They made a movie of that?
Apparently, and I guess it wasn't that good. For the reason that it was just kind of dull. So probably not, because I hear it's kind of dull.
Tiff Guy, thank you for the 100 bits. What's the dumbest Japanese movie you've seen? This isn't a good or bad comment.
I don't know. I mean, whenever I see, the ones that immediately come to mind are like the silliest, Gamera or Godzilla movies, but that's part of the fun, too,
right?
So, yeah, I don't. The only thing that's coming to mind is in Mystery Science Theater, one of the Gamera movies, or maybe it was Godzilla. I think it was Gamera. When this kid was talking about this bright future where there's no war or hatred or traffic accidents, and he keeps bringing up traffic accidents, and everyone's like, "What? Why traffic accidents? That's so weird."
Wow, Doug, obviously you've never had a Chevy murder your grandma.
Obviously.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 100 bits. I was really hoping that the 2 weeks past review was going to be Fearless and celebrating its 30th anniversary this year. I hope you'll review it in the future. It's one of my favorite movies.
Oh, it's one of my favorite too. I don't know what the hell how would I do an NC on that, man? It's so damn heavy. Yeah, I don't know how I would talk about that. I'm afraid. I love that movie, but I do always tell people like I don't really show it to many people or anything because I'm just like I acknowledge it's a downer. It is just so goddamn heavy in what it's dealing with. So yeah, I don't know. I still try to have the NCs mostly be upbeat.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on V for Vendetta? Such an underrated DC film.
I might do a review on that someday because it is interesting how that it's not like it was a big hit, but it did like I mean everybody knew that mask for a while, right? I mean everyone would always wear it when you meant like troll or upsetting the establishment and stuff like that, which is always interesting. But maybe that's one of the reasons why I haven't done it yet because I feel like I kind of understand it, but I don't know if I fully do it. If I'm gonna talk about that, I should probably really dive into all that and get that figured out before I talk about it.
My thoughts are basically it's good, but read the comic.
Yeah, I hear the comic's great. Yeah.
DJ Lol 5, thank you for the 100 bits. I thought it was insane that Oliver made a noir musical based on the 9/11 attacks, but added Godzilla fighting Count Chocula at the towers. Also weird that Charles had a kung fu fight with Miley Cyrus in her wrecking, or it must be Miley Cyrus in her wrecking ball outfit, off to an insane start, in my opinion, for Only Murders in the Building.
Okay.
These are their fake spoilers for Only Murders in the Building.
Gotcha. Okay. I was like, I thought you lost your mind. Okay, thank you for that recap, because I was really like, what the hell?
Smash Ultra, thank you for the 140 bits. Speaking of Fosters, have you seen Wander Over Yonder, or as I like to call it, Disney's Powerpuff Girls?
No, not yet. I've heard people want me to take a look at that, so I will try. Is that a show or a movie? I don't know. Let me write it down.
I think it's a show.
I'll yeah, because after Spider-Man, I don't know if I have another show, so maybe that makes sense. Because some people have recommended that.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 100 bits. Do you think the idea of console-exclusive games are outdated? With cross-platform now available, games should be playable for all consoles, and all consumer can choose which platform they want to play a game on. Hades was exclusively on Switch, but eventually went on other consoles, so we know it's possible.
I'm not the one to ask because I'm not a huge gamer. Heather, you know much more about that than me.
I mean, I feel like exclusive console games aren't really outdated. It's more outdated if it's like a multiplayer thing. So something like Hades or Final Fantasy 16, I feel like that can still make sense to maybe be a console exclusive for a little while. I do think you're really limiting yourself if you limit it to one console for more than like a year or so. But I think it's still just a way that people promote their consoles too. You got to have some of those IPs that are strictly only on PlayStation or only on Xbox or whatever. So I don't think it's outdated unless it's a multiplayer thing, because I get really annoyed when there's no crossplay and I'm trying to play like a multiplayer game with my friends.
There's a couple where I think like, man, if they went to a different system, that'd be weird. But it'd be weird to see Mario on PlayStation or like Lara Croft in like Nintendo or something like that. That would just be weird.
It would. Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. Do you know that Paul Rubin's final role was in the most recent episode of Bob's Burgers? He played the massage student who Bob hires on Mother's Day.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Huh. Don't know what to make that.
Bernsey, thank you for the 100 bits, and I know I'm going to mess some of these up. Lena Mukina was in Leningrad during the World War II siege. She noted that Britain declared war against Finland, and the Soviets were able to take Tikhvin so they could send food into Leningrad via a rail on the shore of Lake Lagoda, or Lake Doga, sorry. Didn't remember those events. Another event might have overshadowed it. Anything you guys read about in history class on December 7th, 1941? Going to dinner.
I was going to say, is this still Only Murders in the Building?
No, it's...
I know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just saw Oppenheimer, though.
J-Bit, thank you for the 100 bits. I gave District 9 another watch recently. Sorry, Doug. Still think you missed the boat on that one. It was a quaint breath of fresh air compared to blockbusters when it came out, but even more now with what we've gotten since.
I mean, a lot of people like it. You're not alone. Yeah, I just, even though the commentary is very obvious, we were talking about Animal Farm earlier. Like, I feel like you could listen to that story and still see that. It's like, that's a story that just works on its own. I don't think District 9 does. I just can't see them doing that to just this alien life with this ship still there and everything. Yeah, I don't know. The commentary is very clear. But so clear that I'm kind of like, well, why didn't you just make a movie on that? You know what I mean? That just like they're aliens and that's it. Everything else is like real life. Like, well, okay, I didn't think that made sense, but you know, what do I know?
Tiff Guy, thank you for the 100 bits. Here's a short little headcanon for Heather, since she's the Pokemon fan. I believe Chris from Pokemon Crystal version is the daughter of the executive from Heart Gold. His name is Proton. That's interesting. All right. Kenton Play Stuff, thank you for the 100 bits. Hi, Doug. Glad you're feeling better. I don't remember if I've ever asked you this before, but what are your thoughts on That Thing You Do? And is there a chance you can get an NC review? It's one of mine and my sister's favorite childhood films, and I love how it was such a big film for Tom Hanks since he starred in it, wrote it, and directed it.
You know, that's another one. I've seen bits and pieces. I don't know if I've seen the whole thing. I remember that song, though. How can you forget that song? I should sit down and watch the whole movie at some point.
Adam Gunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Which Thor movie had worse comedy, Dark World or Love and Thunder? Does Dark World have comedy? No, I'm just kidding.
It has Kat Dennings, man. It has Kat Dennings.
I'm just kidding.
Man, that's, I don't know. I almost gotta say Love and Thunder because Dark World had other things that ruined it. Like the comedy is the only thing that ruined Love and Thunder for me. If they just fixed that, I feel like I would have liked that movie.
Tiff Guy, thank you for the 100 bits. Who's your favorite SpongeBob character and which one makes you angry?
Oh, Bubble Bass, clearly. And Bubble Bass, clearly. I'm trying to think, favorite one. No. Wow, I'm actually going through a lot of them. That must mean there's really good characters. That one, no. Like, because there's so many good ones. I think Squidward. I always like the sourpuss. Everyone's having fun. It's just me, but they're funny as well.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug and Heather, what is a controversial, nerdy topic you've thought about? I think the Stray game doesn't deserve the hype it got. You wound me. There is such a thing as too simple. Hades is simple too, but it still has layers to it. I loved Stray. You wound me.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I heard like a Skype sound or something like that, so I was just making sure. This is... I don't know if this is a heavy one or not a heavy one. I don't know. I brought this up before. Nobody ever talks about it. And maybe it's not a big deal. I don't know. It could just be a me thing. I always thought it was really weird they didn't use little people in Lord of the Rings. I thought that was so odd. We'll get regular-sized people, but then they'll be on their knees. And for the far-off shots, we'll get little people. Why don't you just have little people? You redesigned all these sets and had to spend millions on special effects. You could have just got little people. I thought that was so strange to me, but I've never heard anyone talk about it. I don't hear little people talk about it. So I'm like, all right, maybe it's just a thing I'm missing, but I always thought that was so odd.
Tiff Guy, thank you for the 100 bits. Here's a fun little fanscription idea. Have Malcolm narrate a Dragon Ball Evolution rewrite.
You'd have to get someone that's not me, man, because I don't... Wait, does Walter... He likes Dragon Ball, right?
Me and Walter have both watched Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, but not really anything past that.
Okay, all right, but I mean that would mean he could rewrite Dragon Ball Evolution. I don't know, might be something there. I'll pass it on to him.
Tiff Guy, thank you for the 100 bits. What are some good retro 90s cheese film and movie that you would watch on repeat?
I just do. I mean, I watch a ton of, retros. I'll say this: for whatever dumb reason, both my wife and I have become really obsessed with watching Family Matters recently.
Oh, interesting.
And it's not good. I'm not gonna pretend it's good, but it's just so corny and so light and so formulaic that we just have a ball with it. It's almost better when it doesn't work, you know what I mean? When we're just like, but wait, why would that have? Does this lesson make sense? Does it blah, blah, blah? I don't know. For whatever reason, we've had a weird obsession over that show recently.
JPit, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the Robin Williams movie 1 Hour Photo?
I liked it. I didn't love it. It is one of those that's kind of dependent on, is the ending gonna work? And I think it's just meh, like so much is building up to it. But, I liked it okay. Of course, he's great. He's really good at it.
That Disney nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. I guess we both had rough weeks, Doug. On Saturday, I got an email saying that my bank account was locked because someone tried to log into my account. Put me through quite the anxiety attack. Oof, I'm sorry. I hope that got resolved.
Yeah, I mean, on the plus, it's locked, it stops, so that's good. That means like somebody picked up on it. But yeah, no, that's happened a couple times, and yeah, it's it always sucks when that happens. It'll probably be okay though.
Mustard Man, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you ever thought of doing a fanscription that ponders the question, what if Spider Man No Way Home didn't take place in the MCU, as it was originally going to be before Sony and Disney worked out another deal?
Uh, well, it's hard to say because they still went and got so many of like the other property. Well, I guess it was technically Sony. Yeah, I don't know. I guess they just want to have Doctor Strange. That'd be the big thing. They would just have somebody else somehow make that happen. They could just make up their own whatever, I guess. But who would it be? Yeah, I don't know.
Max Man, oh, sorry. Thank you for the 100 bits. NC for the first Avengers film. It would be interesting to take a look at it a decade later and compare it to superhero films today and the hype for it.
I've thought about that. I've even thought about like maybe like an Avengers month because there's technically enough films to fill up an entire month. So that's something I thought about.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on the Adam Sandler film Big Daddy?
I think that's another one I never got all the way through. Not because it was so bad, but just because like I never just sat down, watched the whole thing. I've seen it in bits and pieces, and they're being all right.
Tiff Guy, thank you for the 100 bits. If you were given a vacation from doing NC, where would you go? Are you a beach guy, a pool guy, or both?
Man, so my wife loves all that. She loves going to Hawaii and on the beach, and stuff like that. I'm trying to think where I like to go. I like to go any place that has like trails. I really like. I don't really like the beach. I don't like pools and stuff like that, which is weird. I used to, but I don't really anymore. I love the idea of just walking towards something, even if it's like you got to climb through stuff. That's one of the reasons we like Hawaii a lot. There's a lot of great trails where you get like real muddy and stuff like that, and you got to crawl through things, and then like all of that's really really cool to like get somewhere, especially if there's like whatever, like a waterfall at the end or something like that. That's really cool.
JPit, thank you for the 100 bits. With William Friedkin's passing recently, thoughts on the original Exorcist?
Oh God, I love it. The original Exorcist is what I thought like most horror films were gonna be like. Whenever I walked down the horror aisle in like video stores and stuff, I saw all these like scary covers and stuff. I just assumed like bare minimum they were like The Exorcist, because I was just kept away from all of it. No, you can't see it's rated R. So my imagination just thought of so many uncomfortable things and disturbing things that when I started seeing actual horror movies, I'm like, oh, this isn't that bad. I thought it'd be a lot worse.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. What do you think of the Vegas episode of Harley Quinn season 4, and what are your favorite moments?
Oh, I like that one. Well, I mean, anything again. I guess the twist with Clayface was really really funny. Yeah, I mean, anything with Clayface, I'm gonna love.
The stuff with King Shark in that one was pretty funny too.
Yeah, that was funny too.
That Disney.
That's right. I mean, you just reminded me of that. That's really funny.
That Disney nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. Would you ever do an NC for Rush Hour? I rewatched it, and Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan's chemistry is still amazing.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing all the movies. I know the one where I like review all of them. Yeah, I like those films, and it's weird because when the first one came out, it got good reviews, and then like the second, the third, especially the second, they're just what a insult this. I mean, Chris Tucker, he's just so loud and obnoxious and stuff, and I'm like, I can see you saying that, but you like the first one? First one's like the exact same thing. It was so bizarre. I just thought it was the same thing, like in a good way. But for some reason, like the second one just really hurt critics for some reason.
JPit, thank you for the 100 bits. All-time worst superhero movie.
Man, we need that DC tier list again. Yeah, what we're.
I mean, Catwoman, Green Lantern.
Oh, Green Lantern might. I mean, it feels weird saying that's it, but because I remember being so boring. It was ugly to look at. It was just a miserable movie.
Just a disappointment all around.
If that's not number one, it's pretty damn close.
A.U. Aulaga, sorry, I messed that name up. Thank you for the 100 bits. Will you be reviewing Transformers, Rise of the Beast, and TMNT Mutant Mayhem soon?
I'll probably do Mutant Mayhem. Again, I just have to get time to get out there because again, I'm just catching up on work. And what's it? The Beast one. If I do like a compilation of all the Transformer movies, I might do it then. I don't think I'll give it like its own review though.
Kenton Play Stuff, thank you for the 100 bits. This game is still currently in development, but I think you might enjoy the demos of the game Billy Bust Up. It's a 3D platformer that also happens to be a musical. You can get the first demo on the Itch Gaming platform, and I think you can get the second demo if you contribute to their Patreon.
Cool. I will try to check it out.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, for next year for Disneycember, you should watch the single season of Fantastic Four: World's Greatest Heroes. In my opinion, it's the definitive version of the team. It's on Disney+.
Okay, I might check that out. It's fine. I never got into Fantastic Four, and I feel like I just haven't seen the right version because everyone says it's like one of the classic, superhero teams and everything. So that might be a good one to check out.
Mouse, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 100 bits. Since you're almost done with Spectacular Spider-Man, do you have a favorite moment in the show? Also, Ben Diskin, one of my favorite voice actors, voices Eddie Brock / Venom, and he's probably my favorite version of Venom. Your thoughts?
I do really like that Venom a lot, and Eddie Brock. It actually is hard to it's actually harder to talk about the character without saying Eddie Brock, and I like that. I like it's harder to. It's like when I talk about him, I have to say Eddie as opposed to like Venom. And I think the reveal of what happened with Uncle Ben, the origin story and stuff, tying in with the symbiote, I thought that was so brilliant and saving it for that point. I just could not believe how smart that was and how much they really fed into each other. So yeah, I was actually watching almost like my jaw on the ground, like I can't believe how brilliant this is. Like I don't know if anyone ever thought of that before, but what a chef's kiss moment.
LLT, thank you for the 100 bits. Worst Adam Sandler movie for you? For me, it's Jack and Jill, with a close second being Little Nicky. Both are easily worst movies ever material.
Little Nicky, I remember being, yeah, I think it's Little Nicky because at least Jack and Jill had Al Pacino giving out a few funny lines that was kind of cute. But yeah, Little Nicky, I just remember like we were just dumbfounded how much we weren't laughing at it.
Yeah. That's Disney Nerd. Thank you for the 100 bits. Would you agree that John Williams is the Mozart of composers of our lifetime and Hans Zimmer is the Leopold of this lifetime, rather?
That's right. It's interesting because we grew up really loving film composers big time. And what we always found fascinating with John Williams is that he'd write these great themes. And sometimes the music would really work with the movie. Then other times it kind of felt like it was showing off a little too much and it wasn't helping the movie. It was sometimes distracting. So we're always kind of on a hit and miss with John Williams. Like if you ask either me or Rob, I don't know if we could say that's like, the best, like the GOAT kind of thing. Even though he's done like amazing stuff, some of the most famous themes ever. I think Hans Zimmer is a little bit more my speed with that, where his stuff sounds amazing. It's good themes, and it really helps the movie. It makes the movie better. You know what I mean? Where I think about like half the time John Williams does that, and then maybe more than that. But when it doesn't work, it distracts. I don't remember Hans Zimmer ever distracting from a movie with his music.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. I saw this quote, if you have to ask what it symbolizes, it doesn't. Do you agree?
Yes and no. Okay, again, in Animal Farm, it's very clear what that's all referencing, but you don't need to know that in order to enjoy the story. But will that take on an entirely different way you look at the story? Yes, and it's very directly, this character is this thing, this character is that thing, and so on. I don't know. I know where they're coming from with that because I think it's overdone and overplayed, but it's hard to say I 100% agree. I think it's a case-by-case basis. It depends on the actual story.
Yeah. Adam Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you ever tried fried Coke? It's a real dessert I discovered after looking that meme up of yours.
No, I really want to. It sounds good the more I think about it.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 100 bits. I might be in the minority, but I think Indiana Jones' son, Mud, was a bad idea. Spielberg's heart wasn't in Crystal Skull and is reflected in the characters, so just killing off the character was unfair. Even Jar Jar was still seen throughout the prequel trilogy. Do you think it was fair or unfair?
Okay, you're talking about killing off the character. Gotcha. I thought you meant just the character in general. I was like, no, a lot of people don't like that character. I kind of thought it was a clever way to get rid of him. I'm not going to lie. I would have liked if it tied more into the story. They kind of throw that in there, and then there's not a whole bunch of a reason for it except to cause a rift only to have that resolve itself. So it's kind of like, what's the point of this movie? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I actually that was kind of clever. But it depends on if you like that character.
Yeah. Mumra, thank you for the 100 bits. Hi, Heather and Doug. What's both your favorite Paul Rubens character or movie that isn't Pee-wee related, and why?
Oh, Fly the Navigator. I just watched that again. Him as Max is wonderful, almost unrecognizable. Yeah, just a completely different, for like half the movie, he's just this, just this very stone cold, say everything like this computer that gets everything across. And instead of saying yes or understand, he always says compliance, like that. Like I don't know. It's a very underrated movie, and it's a very underrated performance, honestly. And like I said, to a point where you almost wouldn't recognize him.
Okay, two things. One, I'm about to put up a poll because we haven't done our poll yet. This poll is about what nostalgia critic we should, I said NC, but then whatever. Anyway, what nostalgia critic we should react to, because we did meet our July sub goal, which is a live reaction on Twitch to a nostalgia critic review. All of the ones that we have on here are all clipless reviews, okay? I'm not adding additional votes with your awesome awards with the channel points. It's just 5 minutes of voting. You'll see it at the top of the chat. This is not the final vote. If you want to have say in the final one, come back for Doug's stream on Friday night, where we will do the final poll for this, okay? So here we go. Your choices are going to be at the top of chat in just a moment there. They're all clipless. At Chapter 1, Ghostbusters 2016, Suicide Squad, and Wonder Woman. Take a vote.
Take a vote.
Also, we are going to have to pick up the pace. We're still an hour behind.
Gotcha.
Kenton Play Stuff, thank you for the 100 bits. On average, how long does it take you to make a single Nostalgia Critic episode? Does it depend on the film/series or on how the video is planned out?
For the shorter ones, about a week. For the ones that have the cast in, about 2 weeks.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 100 bits. Also, Doug, have you and Doug checked out, or you and Rob, checked out the anime Black Lagoon yet? If you have, your thoughts. If not, please make sure you write it down because it's a really awesome anime series.
We got it written down. No, we haven't had a chance to check it out.
Cameron Blythe, thank you for the 100 bits. Hi, Doug and Heather. Have you ever heard of an animated show called Duncanville? It stars Amy Poehler.
I think I've heard. No, actually, the more I think about it, I have not. I will check that out, though.
I feel like I've heard of it. Virtuous Sinner, thank you for the 100 bits. What do you think of video game are starting to have great film adaptations now? Why do you think it took this long for them to happen? Because now people take video games a little bit more seriously.
And they see the money in it. And just more story has been put in video games as well. I think that plays a big part.
True. JPit, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, I'm glad you shed some light on the Rocky and Bullwinkle movie. It's kind of clever little movie and has no business being clumped in with Alvin and the Chipmunks and Garfield like it usually is.
I agree. You have to know the show, though, in order to kind of get it.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, there's a show called Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide. It's a funny show that teaches kids real helpful tips on surviving middle school, but in a way that's like a live-action cartoon. Like if a hallway is empty, a tumbleweed will roll indoors. Please check it out. The first 2 seasons are on Netflix.
I've heard of it before. I think somebody brought it up before, and I will try to check it out.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the trial of the Chicago 7 and Judas and the Black Messiah?
I haven't seen either of them.
They're really good.
The Judas one I really wanted to see. If I only put that on, because that's one I remember like, oh shit, I gotta check that out.
Talkative Carl, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, will you review Failure to Launch starring Matthew McConaughey? I don't think you've done any of his movies before.
Yeah, I guess I haven't. It's pretty easy to make fun of, too. I'll probably do a movie of his. I don't know if that'll be it, though.
Virtuous Sinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen Nimona yet, and what do you think of it? Also, since it was supposed to be a Blue Sky Studio movie, maybe a Disney-cember movie, or is it too much of cheating the system?
No, I'm actually saving it for that. I'm going to do it for Disney-cember this year. So I haven't seen it yet, but I will do it.
Chapit, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, there's a Spider-Man game on the original PlayStation that I grew up with that you should play. Gameplay-wise, it's kind of clunky and dated, but it's still worth playing because it does great justice to the character, his world, and the villains, with some truly great voice acting and Stan Lee narrating.
Oh, that's cool. I'll try to check it out.
Strider for Life, thank you for the 100 bits. I saw Oppenheimer a few days ago. It was pretty intense. Cillian Murphy and RDJ nailed their roles.
Yeah, no, all the actors I thought were really, really good.
That Disney nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. You want to hear one of my biggest dumbass moments? I went to a movie store and I thought I picked up the original Jaws. When I took a second look, it was Jaws the Revenge. All I had to do was look under the word Jaws.
I know what you're talking about because they write it really small. It's not 4 or 3. It's like, I bet they do that on purpose just so something like that can happen.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, at some point, could you make a compilation video discussing the Cartoon Saloon movies? Regardless of what new things you could say about them, just hearing your personal thoughts and experience is more than enough, and Wolfwalkers is the greatest looking hand-drawn animated film of all time.
Maybe. I thought about it. I put it down as a maybe on the list before.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, maybe an NC review for RRR.
Man, that'd be a lot. We'll see. It's a lot, but we'll see.
I know, guys. Thank you for the 100 bits. Have you been watching more of Bluey recently? And if so, what's your favorite episode so far?
Not so much because, again, I've been trying to catch up on stuff that while I was sick, a lot of people said, you gotta watch this, you gotta watch this. But I still like the one where they deal with death. I thought that was very well handled.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Sorry, I phrased a previous question wrong. What are your thoughts on Batman and Alfred as characters in the Harley Quinn show?
Oh, I really like Alfred a little bit more. I thought they gave him a few more layers. Well, and he usually does have layers, honestly. Yeah, Batman's fine. He's interesting enough.
I loved Alfred's bit in the Moon Convention.
Me too,
episode.
yeah.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, can we get a clue for next week's NC review, please?
It is a top 11 list, and it's a top 11 of a cartoon series that's like decades old. Like I think it's like 40s or something like that. So there you go.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Clue for next week's NC.
It is a top 11 list. It's a cartoon series that's like back in the 40s, yeah, like shown in theaters. I should say that, like shorts, I should say.
All right, Ghostbusters won the poll. Ghostbusters 2016 won the poll with Suicide Squad in second place. Nice. All right, so that will fight in the final poll on Friday. FBL, thank you for... Oh, no, I just read that. I'm sorry. Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on the man-child neighbor Francis in Pee-wee's Big Adventure?
Oh, he's great. I mean, yeah, I love them arguing like little kids and stuff. Like, just look at him. And he does a little sad face like that. I love it.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 100 bits. My older sister and I took our dad to see Oppenheimer for his birthday. His birthday was July 30th, but we celebrated a day early. We did really enjoy the movie, but my sister and I had to go back and forth on who's who on the screen. Like, oh, that's Josh Peck, that's RDJ, Emily Blunt, etc.
Yeah, the only one that took me a while was Josh Hartnett. I was just like, whoa, that was holy shit. Like, it took me a real long time to recognize him.
Kenton Play Stuff, thank you for the 100 bits. Everyone usually asks what the hint for the next week's review will be. I'm going to go a step beyond and ask if we can get a hint for a future Christmas review.
It's a Home Alone movie. If you do your math, you can figure that out pretty easily.
Cameron Blythe, thank you for the 100 bits. I have started to draw the NC in different art styles. For example, Simpsons, South Park, and even Bluey. Could I tag your channel on Twitter if that's okay?
Please,
absolutely.
Awesome.
We'd love to see it. LLT, thank you for the 100 bits. I just want to let you know after watching Nostalgia Critic, but I want to let you know SpongeBob was, for my generation, what Simpsons was for yours, just this universal cultural phenomenon on par with the OG classic cartoons, to the point in both cases American presidents, HW and Obama, have mentioned them, albeit in completely different contexts.
Yeah, no, lots of people really come up to me and just being like, dude, the fact that you're in that, and it is weird to think SpongeBob's been around for that long time, are just like, yeah, they're impressed. They're very impressed.
Kermit Wazowski, thank you for the 100 bits. So now that I've watched all of Always Sunny and wanted to fill a void, I'm now listening to the Always Sunny podcast from the beginning. It's a great mix of behind-the-scenes stories and the guys just shooting the shit. You a podcast guy at all?
I would be if I had time. Yeah, I really don't have time to listen to them because that sounds like fun, but I don't have the time.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 100 bits. Ever since since the director of the original The Exorcist movie passed away recently, will you review The Exorcist for Nostalgiaween this year? And the film is also celebrating its 50th anniversary this year.
Man, I don't know how I could get that past YouTube. We'll see. We'll see.
Bernsey, thank you for the 100 bits. Top 10 alternate endings in movies. I always thought that the alternate ending in 16 Blocks was better than the actual ending. I'm sure you could find others.
I did a top 11 what the fuck alternate endings video before, so you can check that out. It's pretty similar.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on the John Hughes film Some Kind of Wonderful? Personally, I really enjoyed it. Mary Stuart Masterson was fantastic.
I don't know if I've seen that film. I will try to check it out.
Optinate, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey Doug, I saw you gave the Renegade Media Group a shout out on Cameo and they reacted to it. I was laughing very hard.
Oh yeah, no, I got Cameo for that. I like I said, I don't get a chance to see many reactions to my stuff, so it's always nice watching their live reactions to it. So yeah, it's always really cool.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. Do you think we're in a new golden age for animated films? With Mitchell's vs. the Machines, both Spider-Verse films, Mutant Mayhem, Puss in Boots 2, Wolfwalkers, and Intergalactic being critically successful, it keeps making me more and more excited for future of animated films.
Well, even the new Ninja Turtles is doing well, and that has a style that's very much kind of like Across the Spider-Verse and Intergalactic and stuff like that. So I hope so. I hope. I don't know. I have a good feeling moving forward that there's going to be more good stuff coming from animation.
JPit, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, I seem to remember your negative review of Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, but I watched it recently and I thought it was awesome. Was I high while watching it? The fuck kind of insulting question is that? Of course I was high.
That's one of those where it was back when I kind of hated everything, but I still say Smooth Criminal is one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. And the other stuff is interesting. It's hard to say it's good, but it's interesting.
Hyper Devil Fangirl Boner, thank you for the 100 bits. Hello, everyone. Did you know there was a sequel made in 2019 to Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island? It's called Return to Zombie Island. I haven't seen it myself, but one of my friends has. She hated it. Said they tried to retcon.
I heard of that, but I haven't seen it. I'll try to check it out.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on the Del Toro Hellboy movies, and which of the two do you like more?
Visually, I like the second one a lot more, but in terms of the story, I like the first one more.
Mm-hmm. Cameron Blythe, thank you for the 100 bits. Has your opinion changed on Osmosis Jones? I love the animation, but hate the live action scenes. How do you make Bill Murray the worst part?
Yeah, I don't love the animated scenes, but I respect them, if that makes sense. I kind of like what they're trying to do in the original way they're trying to do it. And it does look good. So if it was only that, maybe I would like the film okay.
Hyper Devil Fangirl Boner, thank you for the 100 bits. Oh, sorry, hit enter by mistake. She said they tried to retcon the first movie to say that all the supernatural elements weren't supernatural at all, which annoyed her greatly.
Oh, that is dumb. That's like part of the fun, is that was like the first, like, like gooey zombies and heads flying off, and so yeah, that'd be lame. How'd they even do that?
Burnsy, thank you for the 100 bits. Michael Jackson biopic idea made me think of Dewey Cox. Which actor could be in a parody-style biopic of the late 70s to the 2000s and feature the various stars like Dewey Cox did? He had Cash, Dylan, Elvis, the Beatles, etc. Which actors could play the updated version of this idea?
I mean, I think the musician you'd have to do is probably Prince. You could probably have fun with that. I don't know. And Dave Chappelle would play him, of course, naturally.
Hewlett fan, thank you for the 100 bits. How do you feel about the current state of The Simpsons? Does the golden age actually exist? Are modern episodes simply bad because 90s Simpson is so good that Simpsons is simply dogged by its legacy going forward? Is that the case with other media franchises that are similar, that its later episode or sequels aren't necessarily bad, but not as good as its original?
Whew, nicely done. I've seen a few of the newer ones. They're hit and miss, but the fact they have any hits is good. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know, because some shows can keep going and they're fine. Yours truly, obviously. But yeah, and other times, but like SNL and stuff, all these things. So it's hard to say. I think it just depends on the show and the steam they have in them.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. Fanscription idea. What if Tim Burton, Richard Donner, or Joe Dante directed Jurassic Park?
Be a lot more stop motion, I would assume, but
right.
It's interesting.
Optinate, thank you for the 100 bits. I also have some new animated series I found that my brother showed me. It's called Monkey Wrench. It's a space-themed animated web series with a main character who kind of looks like Earthworm Jim, but the show isn't getting the attention it deserves. It's really good, but it's got 2 episodes so far.
Monkey Wrench animated. All right, I will try to check that out.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. What do you think of the Snowflame, the supervillain who gets his powers through snorting cocaine in the Harley Quinn show?
Is that what that was? Okay,
yes!
That went by so fast, I did not follow what that was. Well, now that I know, I think it's pretty funny.
Yeah, no, and that's a real character in the DC universe. That is,
of course it has
not made
to
up.
Be. Yeah.
LLT, thank you for the 100 bits. The MJ biopic is backed by his estate and the Jackson family, so the movie side is clear, but they said they are going to address the controversies head on, unsanitized, and are going through his whole 50-year life.
I don't know how they're gonna do that, man. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. What is the most annoying moment in the movie Click for you?
Man. Trying to think of the one. I think any moment that I forget. He became the Joker. He's from Jerry Survivor. What's his name? The main kid, the redhead, the actor. But any moment with him, because I felt like, that's a funny kid. He can be really funny, but just the direction, the writing didn't play it right. And it's always a shame when you see someone is funny, just like not done right.
Oh, that's Cameron Monaghan.
Cameron Monaghan, yeah. Because even before he became a big star, I was just like, I can see that kid's funny, but this movie's just not letting him be funny.
Thanks, chat. Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 100 bits. Oh, Heather, have you checked the manga/anime series Nana? I'm so happy it's making a resurgence and they're reprinting the manga. I heard the manga author will continue writing the manga to finish sometime soon. I have not, but yeah, I might check it out. Optinate, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey, Doug, what is the weirdest kids movie you've ever reviewed? I remember you reviewing Alpha and Omega, and I forgot how weird that got.
That's weird, but that's not the weirdest. Whatever reason, the one that's coming to mind is that weird Christopher Columbus one. I'm trying to remember the name of it. The Magic Voyage, I think is what it was called. It was just like some foreign country telling the story of Christopher Columbus. It's like a kid's cartoon. It just made up all sorts of weird stuff, and I just remember being bizarre. I don't know if that's the most bizarre, but it's up there.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on the Ivan Reitman movie Stripes?
I like it. It's a little bit very much a product of the times, but if you're willing to kind of just go with it and just say, all right, whatever you throw at me, I'm going to have fun with it, I think it's a good time.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. Favorite Catherine Zeta-Jones performance?
Do I go with the cliche and say Chicago? I'll say Chicago, sure.
Chicago's great.
Yeah.
Burnsy, thank you for the 100 bits. On YouTube, there's a radio broadcast of 1984. Winston Smith is played by Vincent Price. Mind blowing. I know that Patrick Stewart, wow, I just said star. Patrick Stewart was in a BBC radio play of Animal Farm.
Yeah, he also did Snowball's voice in the TNT one. And then Kelsey Grammer. Kelsey Grammer was Snowball. Patrick Stewart was Napoleon. My apologies. Yeah, no, and they were both great. I didn't know that about Vincent Price, though. I got to check that out.
Demonaires, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey, Doug, I just turned 27 today. If you were a bender from The Last Airbender, what would it be? Earth, fire, water, or air?
Oh, water, and I would cheat like hell. I bloodbend everybody, man. Hell with taboo.
Also, happy birthday! Yay! That Disney nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. Howard the Duck, guys, come on! That's the worst comic book / superhero movie ever made.
Yeah, it is technically a comic. That's true.
Yeah, but yeah, it's not the worst. I don't know. Chat was also mentioning Fan Four Stick, and that might be up there.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on the Joker and the Harley Quinn show so far? The most recent episode with him actually caught me off guard on where they're taking his story.
I like that. I like him. Who cares? I like him going back to evil. Yeah, I like them going there. Right? But it's like a petty evil. Does he go after the guy with like the lawnmower or whatever? Yeah, no, I'm digging that.
Demonaires, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, what's your favorite episode of Daria?
I like the last one a lot. I really like one because I feel like we went through something like this, and I know other schools have, where a kid died. He wasn't loved by everybody. And it's a very strange feeling at that age when somebody that maybe you didn't get along with passes away and dealing with those emotions. I thought that episode really dealt with that very, very well. While still incorporating some comedy too, but also just like it's a very confusing thing at that age to go through. And like I said, and everyone at my school brought that. It's like that episode of Daria, right? It's like that episode of Daria. Like everyone was kind of talking about that. So that shows how much it really did hit the mark with that.
Hewlett fan, thank you for the 100 bits. How do you feel about 2000s nostalgia as of this point? You think it's gotten stale? How do you think 2010s nostalgia?
I always, and again, part of this is probably just because when I grew up and stuff like that. I remember early 2000s being kind of late 90s, early 2000s being kind of stale in terms of stuff. I always kind of said, like, I feel like CG kind of got too big and they were just trying to do anything. And that was kind of enough, with like, oh, but there's a CG thing. Now we can do it. And there's no, you need that limitation. You need stuff to be pulled in and think a little smarter about it in terms of media. But I kind of thought, like, when Lord of the Rings started picking up, that's when I feel like movies, media, all that stuff started to get interesting again. But there's exceptions.
BW Rosas, thank you for the 100 bits. Hi, Doug. Been watching you for over a decade. My question is, what are thoughts on the lustful melt trope? If you haven't heard it, or if you have heard it, and why do you, the female characters, get chosen most of the time? No offense to Heather.
Lustful
melts.
I'm not seeing it, man. I'm seeing Lustful Falls, whatever that is. I think I gotta look it up later. Yeah, I don't know what it is, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know what the lustful melt trope is. I'm sorry.
Oh, maybe unless they're talking about when someone's in love, they just kind of melt like that, like in a cartoon kind of thing. That's the only thing I can think of. Which I mean, that I think is funny.
Japeth, thank you for the 100 bits. Ever seen a movie with Johnny Depp called Dead Man? If not, seek it out immediately.
Okay, yeah, never even heard of it. I'll try and check it out.
Excalibur Baron, thank you for gifting that sub to Math God. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Japeth, thank you for the 100 bits. In honor of Paul Rubens' passing, this is crack.
You mean this is crack?
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I almost forgot about that.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. Final question from me. Earlier you said John Williams' score feel like they're showing off. I'm curious, which of his scores feel like they're showing off in your opinion?
I'm gonna get a lot of flack for this. Harry Potter.
I
love the theme. Theme's fantastic. That's a brilliant theme. But like just the opening where like he's taking the little fire from the lamps, the twilly 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 do. Dooley, 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 do, like that kind of stuff. It's like, oh, stop it.
Demon Airs, thank you for the 100 bits. Hey, Doug, did you see the Saw 10 trailer yet? What are your thoughts? Do you think you'll do an NC movie on the Saw movies?
No, I guess I have to really check it out because a lot of people have been asking me about it. I'm not a big Saw guy. Brad's much more the Saw enthusiast. I get why people like him, but yeah, they never grab me. But I will try and check out the preview for this new one.
Excalibur Baron, thank you for the 200 bits. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
What anime movie do you want to review and why? A lot of people say anime is better than Western entertainment or vice versa. In my opinion, both sides are wrong.
I mean, it's just, pick your poison kind of thing, like whatever you like.
Personal preference.
Yeah. What anime movie would I like to review? I don't know. Trying to think of one that would like kind of get like some laughs out of it, be interesting to talk about. Oh, maybe Akira. That'd be kind of cool because I grew up with that movie. I think it'd be an interesting movie to talk about, like kind of growing up with it as well when anime was just starting to become a thing in America.
Let's get you on some of the new Evangelion movies. Let's mess with Doug.
Okay, no. Mess me up. Yeah, mess with my mind.
Sailor Aaron, thank you for the 100 bits. If you guys do an Adult Swim special in the same vein as Toonami, Fox Kids, etc., I hope you talk about the animes like Bebop, FMA, Trigun, and also other favorite of mine, Blood Plus, criminally underrated anime.
Oh, I mean, we'd have to talk about a lot of those. I mean, like
for sure
and stuff like that. Yeah, the one thing that we brought up last night is like, man, if we do it, where do we stop? Because it's still going, so we'd have to definitely have like a cutoff.
Heavy Metal Harry, thank you for the 100 bits. Nightmare on Elm Street is a great movie until it's ruined by a shitty ending, while Friday the 13th is a shitty movie until it's elevated by a great ending. Agree?
I mean, I don't mind the ending to Nightmare on Elm Street that much. That's just typical horror, flair. Friday the 13th, I respect it, but I kind of agree with you. I don't get into it until the reveal of the killer. And then it's like an A+ movie after that. I just love it. And that great surprise at the end. I agree, even though I respect them both and I like them both, but I kind of agree.
Japeth, thank you for the 100 bits. Worst Oscar bait you've ever seen?
I did bring up in the Truman Show a lot. And I know a lot of people like this movie, but The Majestic, I haven't even seen it. And every time I see clips, my uncle just had a great impression. He's like, "Have you seen these trailers?" He's always just, "I don't know who I am." Like, that's just his impression of the whole thing. And it's like, yeah, just everything has that whisper, that look like this. And it just, and you know me, I love Jim Carrey and everything, but I'm just like, nah, man, you Oscar bait to show it.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. Top 3 favorite Steve Martin movies.
Oh man, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels is definitely one. I like LA Story a lot. Man, yeah, what would the third one be? I just saw Man with Two Brains. I thought it was brilliant. I never saw it before. I just saw it this year.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on the Fishman character Abe in the Hellboy movies?
He's fine. You know, I like David I. Pierce's voice in him.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Which villain from the Hellboy movies was your favorite?
I don't remember them that well. Honestly, I like them okay. I never got that into them weirdly. I thought I would get into them more, but yeah, so it's hard to even remember the villains, honestly.
Honest Reviewer, thank you for the 100 bits. While you were out last Friday, I was held over by a new trailer of Mortal Kombat 1, featuring their reimagining Reptile, and he looks sick. P.S. Have you checked out the Combat Pack trailer yet?
Yes, with Homelander and all that. That's pretty fucking cool. Yeah, I haven't been interested in a Mortal Kombat game in a while. That one is looking pretty cool.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. What do you think of Seth MacFarlane's character, Johann Kraus in Hellboy 2. Oh, I didn't realize we lost you.
You see me?
Yep.
Yeah, something about Hellboy 2. That's all I heard.
Yeah, what do you think of Seth MacFarlane's character in Hellboy 2? Kraus?
Yeah, I'm blanking on him
Johann
too. Yeah, I only saw it when it came out. I haven't seen it since. So yeah, I gotta check it out again.
Heavy Metal Harry, thank you for the 100 bits. I'm tempted to go to Oppenheimer and let out a massive fart in the theater when the countdown scene reaches 0.
Well, it's a perfect time because it does go quiet at that point.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on Rachel Dratch as Mr. Freeze's wife in the Harley Quinn show?
Oh, I like her. I like what they did with her when she's like thought out and everything. I feel like they can turn her into even more of a character, which they're kind of doing. I like the idea of it, you know, because she's always like the frozen wife, the frozen woman, so I like the idea of like actually giving her a personality. You don't know her personality outside of that.
Kenton Play Stuff, thank you for the 100 bits. I've previously requested Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase for Nostalgiaween, and I'm still crossing my fingers for that one, but there's also a possibility for the Scooby-Doo and Courage the Cowardly Dog crossover film to be in the Halloween lineup.
We'll see. I have to look at what I have on the list. I can look at it in a bit, but I will definitely double check it.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you seen the Soderbergh movie Logan Lucky? If not, I highly recommend it. It features Daniel Craig in a sort of proto Benoit Blanc role.
Okay. No, I haven't, and I will try to check it out.
J-Pith, thank you for the 100 bits. Name the worst between these two animated films you hated. Felix the Cat, the movie, or Food Fight?
Food Fight. Yeah, that's the one. Felix the Cat at least had some weirdness that was kind of like fascinating. Food Fight's just worst.
At Movies, thank you for the 100 bits. Favorite low-budget debut movie from a famous director? Mine is Pi by Darren Aronofsky.
That's a good choice. Man, let me think. What's the... I'm blank out. The guy that gets the AI that like controls him a little bit. Is it Unbreakable, Unbearable, something like that? I'm blank on the name, but it was. I referenced it in my review of Venom, and I'm totally blanking on it now. Oh my god! I think it's the guy who directed like the Batman or something. Terrible. I'm the worst. Sorry.
I was looking at chat to see if they would have an answer. American Graffiti? That's not. That's not right. Sorry. I just read it out loud without processing it, and I was like, wait, that's Upgrade?
Yes, that's the one.
Thank you, Power Gamer. FBL, thank you all for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the movie Men, Women, and Children?
I don't think I ever saw it. I might have seen the trailer, but I never saw the movie.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the movie Fool's Paradise? I know it got shredded by critics, but I thought it was good.
I didn't get a chance to see it. I'll probably stream it when it comes out. I doubt it's a big screen movie I need to see.
Livster, thank you for the 100 bits. Since the top 11 South Park episodes came out 10 years ago, I think, are there any recent episodes you would put on the list now?
I've sadly really been out of South Park for a bit. I did like the pandemic special. I thought that was very funny. But I've been out of it for quite a bit of time. So yeah, I definitely couldn't do a list again.
Kenson Plays Stuff, thank you for the 100 bits. Heather, will we ever get Doug to play Super Mario 64 on stream? Because to quote the Green Goblin, the one thing we love more than a hero is to see a hero fail, fall, die trying. Love you, Doug.
Love you too. Yeah, I do not like that game. Maybe for like a fun, just for Yuck's stream or something like that. Maybe we could do something like that.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Lustful Melt from the TV trope site. A fairly common staple of Western animation, this trope involves a character being so enamored with another, their whole body turns into a puddle of goo.
Okay,
so
yeah,
correct.
That's what I was saying. No, I always think that's funny. I remember seeing a lot of cartoons I saw when I grew up. And even not even Lustful, just sometimes someone could have something so bad they could just turn into goo and stuff like that. So yeah, I've definitely seen that before.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. Top 3 Kristen Wiig performances.
I really like her as Lola in the Looney Tunes show. What else? Trying to think of it's like she's in so many movies and now, like there was one I think she was in called like Barb and Star, something like that. That was not at all what I was expecting, and it was a ton of fun. And I don't know, Bridesmaids, sure.
JPit, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, take it from me. You ain't missing a fucking thing with the Majestic.
I trust you.
BW Rosas, thank you for the 100 bits. Yeah, sorry for the confusion on the Lustful Melt trope, but yeah, it's when a character does melt into a puddle. Yeah, sorry for the confusion, but what are thoughts on it? And the one character comes to mind when you think about it. Thanks, keep Ensian.
It's funny, Tiny Toons did a lot. That's where it's really popping in my head. One is where like Buster ate something gross and he melts. And then one, I think Buster finally kisses Babs and she melts after that. I know I've seen it in other places, but that's the one that pops in my head the most.
JPit, thank you for the 100 bits. It also bothered me the original Friday the 13th carries itself as a whodunit slasher movie until the killer turns out to be some woman they never introduced beforehand.
That didn't bother me too much because they made her so much fun. And like I said, I was so kind of not that interested anyway. It didn't bother me. That was my first time seeing those emotes explode all over the place. That was really cool.
It is. It's fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Which of the TMNT movies is your favorite? This can include movies like Turtles Forever and Batman versus TMNT.
Oh, it might be the Batman one then. Yeah, that one was just so damn clever.
That Disney Nerd, thank you for the 100 bits. Not gonna lie, I thought you were gonna say Imperial March or Superman March or something felt like it was off. Or something felt like it was showing off in my John Williams question. I'm sorry, I don't know why I can't read right now.
Oh, good. No, because the themes are usually pretty good. Those are usually done at introductions or opening titles, and that's fine. You want to show off there. When you want the music to help a scene and it kind of distracts, that's when I kind of get thrown off a bit.
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Favorite celebration/victory scene in a movie?
I really like in Die Hard when he finally sees Carl Winslow and they just hug and he just lets out this laugh that sounds so real. It just says, ha, 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 like that, like we made it kind of thing. It's just such a genuine moment.
Alexander, thank you for the 100 bits. What are your thoughts on the Steve Martin movie, The Jerk?
Oh, I love it. Oh, my God. And it's so funny because my dad, for whatever reason, wouldn't let me see the movie growing up. He used to say, it's dumb. It's a dumb movie. You don't want to see it. So I just kind of believed him. I saw it years later. I'm like, this is fucking hilarious. I love this movie.
Cypher, thank you for the 100 bits. Would you ever review the 1983 Dan Aykroyd vehicle, Dr. Detroit?
Don't even think I've heard of that movie. I'll try to check it out.
Lou says, boo, thank you for the 100 bits. Hi, Doug and Heather. Will you ever do a karaoke stream again? Doug singing Rob Zombie's Dracula as Mickey Mouse had me laughing so hard I almost died.
Oh,
we will not be until Twitch Sings ever comes back. Twitch Sings died, and then we don't really have the rights to do a karaoke stream. I mean, we could if we wanted to have a copyright strike on our channel or the whole stream to be muted. So it's not in the cards. unfortunately. FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Thoughts on the movie Leatherheads?
I don't think I ever saw it. I'll try to check it out.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Whose story are you enjoying more in the Harley Quinn show so far? Harley with the Bat Family or Ivy at the Legion of Doom?
I think Ivy. You know, I'm always gonna like the bad guys more. Yeah, that stuff I just think is always funnier. So yeah, I think I'm liking that more.
Honest Reviewer, thank you for the 100 bits. So in honor of Mortal Kombat 1 coming out next month, I was wondering if it would be prudent for you guys to hold a Mortal Kombat 11 tournament beforehand. Just a thought.
I'm terrible at Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Man, if you want to see me just suck.
I don't think any of us own it. I could look into it, but I don't think any of us own it. We'd have to buy the game and organize the whole thing. I'll look into it.
And it's a game I'll probably never play again. Well, you know, who knows? Maybe I'll really get into it. Who the fuck knows?
FBL, thank you for the 100 bits. Doug, I have some advice for you. 1, Lord loves a working man. 2, see a doctor and get rid of it. And 3, don't never trust Whitey.
I'll do my best. You know, Chaplin's half white, so I have to at least half trust him.
Okay, great. Love that. We have a little bit of time for some highlighted questions here. Elite Gamer had accidentally, their message didn't attach to their resubscription. So they said, Elite Gamer said, I just wanted to say a big thank you to everyone at Channel Awesome Studio and to the people of chat. I've watched these videos for years. It was 12 months ago I first subscribed to you guys, and I'm ever so grateful to be subscribed since then. When I have a rough day, you guys never cease to make me smile and laugh. Seriously, thank you for everything. And for Doug, 12 months, bitch! Poof.
Everyone's so mean.
Glad you're feeling better.
Thank you so much. Well, after that punch, I'm not. No, thank you so much. It's so kind of you to say.
Yeah, that's very nice. Thank you, Elite. Ramirez says, wait, what? Did you say top 11 cartoon franchises from the 40s? Speaking of which, who's your all-time favorite cartoon character? Mine is Mickey Mouse. Don't judge.
Man, that's a good question. Maybe Daffy Duck. That character always gets a laugh out of me. It's not cartoons. It's a cartoon shorts, I should say, of a particular type. I'm not summing it up well. You'll see.
Dino Man says, top 5 Heathers. 5, Oscar Frozen Heather. 4, Kathleen Kennedy Heather. 3, Shigo Heather. 2, Jubilee Heather. 1, Doe Heather the Bum.
I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of thinking to myself, like, wait, Kathleen Kennedy Heather? What? I'm like, oh, that's right. Like, yeah, Heather.
Me, Heather. I've played Kathleen Kennedy on the Nostalgia Critic, yes. Heavy Metal Harry, thank you for the 100 bits. When's the last time you punched someone?
I don't know if I've ever punched someone, honestly. I don't know. I'm definitely one of those where it's like, I like to box, but I don't like to get into fights. I don't know how people that do, like, I must just have like different sensory is something, because everything else with the body I can take it, but the idea of getting punched in the face, I'm just like, no, that'll hurt. I'm like such a coward when it comes to that. So I don't know. These are guys that go into boxing and stuff and take all the hits and stuff like that. I'm like, but it looks like it hurts. So yeah, I'm a complete pansy when it comes to that.
Oliver Dreamwalker says, Doug, have you watched or listened to AI covers of famous characters and songs?
Oh yeah, most of them me.
Adam Grunther, thank you for the 100 bits. Have you ever seen the Looney Tunes short where Bugs murdered a guy for coughing? Yes, that happens. It's dark.
Yeah, it's at the beginning of an episode. I mean, characters getting killed off or even axing themselves off was pretty common back then.
Lord R. Wolfen says, when I suggested this movie for you to review last time, you mistakenly got the wrong movie. I wasn't talking about Bad Grandpa, which stars the Jackass crew. I wanted you to review Dirty Grandpa, a movie starring Robert De Niro and Zac Efron. P.S. I hate this fucking movie.
Oh, man. I think I know what you're talking about. They have to do like, they like travel across. Oh, wait, no. Is this it? Do they travel cross country? No. I have no idea what the hell this is. Okay. I guess I will try to check it out.
Master Mario says, how dare you, Doug? How dare you? You skipped out on a few streams just because you had shingles. You know, our entertainment is more important than your health. I expect a stream even if it's from a hospital bed. You broke my heart. Rot in hell. P.S. I hope you feel all better now. Your fan, David.
I'm a selfish piece of shit. What can I say?
Spongy says, I want an NC for my super ex-girlfriend.
I never did see it. It looked funny, but everybody said it's not that good. So I don't know. I'd be down for checking it out at some point though.
Dino Man says, "What is your favorite episode of The Mandalorian?"
Uh, hmm, it's a good question. You know, maybe just the first one. I love that introduction. Everything about that was so like, what's going on? What's Baby Yoda? What's the gun? I mean, there was so much secrecy around it, and every reveal was just cooler and cooler. So yeah, probably the first one.
Heavy Metal Harry, thank you for the 100 bits. Are dragons good or evil?
They're whatever you want them to be.
Whatever in your heart you feel to be correct. And this will be our last one. Dino Man asks, what is the nerdiest thing that you own?
The nerdiest thing that I own? Christ, I don't know. Probably just everything on this wall, man. I don't know. that's really, really hard to say. I'm even looking around everything like, yeah. I'll just say this wall, I guess. No, you know what? I got this when I think I was like 9 or 10 years old. It's this little Garfield figurine. This is like one of the first things I bought as a kid. Like I saved up money for because I was such a Garfield fan. So that's pretty nerdy.
Fishy Flavor, thank you for the 100 bits. What is your thought on the new Nun movie trailer?
I don't think I've seen it. I'll have to check it out.
All right, cool. All right, everyone, that will do it for us. Thank you so much for joining us here today. As usual, we super appreciate it. We do have content here 5 days a week, so come on back and check us out. Tamara, I believe, is going to be live tomorrow. Friday, Malcolm will be on and Doug will be on in the evening. And if you didn't catch it, we will be doing a final voting poll for what NC episode we're going to react to live as our July goal was met. And I haven't really plugged it that hard this stream, but we do have a new August goal up where if we're at 230 subs by or on August 25th, we're going to do a movie music quiz. Because those quizzes are always fun, and I feel like it'll be fun to have like scores where you'll listen to it and try to identify the movie and fun things like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I think that'll be fun,
I feel like we'd be good at that.
Would you, Doug?
Maybe not modern movies the more I think about it. Actually, I might suck. I'm going to be bad at that. That'll be fun.
All right. Awesome. All right, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, and we will hopefully see you soon. Bye.
Bye. Goodbye.